as long as I worked hard. He never made any difference between me being a young girl as opposed to being a young fellow at that time. It was different. And he loved me very much, and he did everything to support and encourage me. So without my grandma and my dad, I certainly would not be here. And Nancy knows, she knows the family. It was the family that was responsible and the whole community. Another thing that I'd like to share with you is that I came up in a part of Canada, which is a French-speaking part of Canada. But my parents were English-speaking because they came from Guyana, which was at that time British Guyana. And so we were more a part of the English-speaking community than the French-speaking community. And at that time, the French-speaking community was looked down upon. If you go back into the history, you'll know a part of this. And as a young student, because I was also from a minority, and a minority which in history and to the present day also suffers discrimination, I felt a type of affinity with the French-speaking. And I decided when I was about to go to university that I was going to go to the French-speaking university. And it was difficult at the beginning because I didn't really understand. So I was learning law and I was learning French at the same time. And I was very often confusing things. But nevertheless, there were students who helped me. They would give me their notes and I would study from their notes. And there was a young fellow there who was of Greek origin. So he would translate from the French to the English and then from the English to the Greek. So I didn't feel so bad, you know. But what I want to say is, having made that decision, I didn't know what it would lead to. But what it led to was me finding my hubby. So we've been together and we've raised a family, and Backrobe is here, he's our eldest, and RJ, Abbas is with us in thought, and obviously we have our other sons here, Malik, the eldest, Bekai, and all of our grandchildren. But what I want to say is, the fact is, that even though I was out there swinging, had they not been behind me, I never would have been able to do half of what occurred. And I know that Backrobe didn't have very much choice. He will tell you, when we were going to these meetings, we didn't have babysitters. They came with us. So he knows, and they know him, and even Abbas, if he goes to the door now, people say, your face is familiar, because they saw him at one meeting or another. So they really have been very special, have been very supportive, and we're proud of them. Can I tell them one of my favorite stories? Okay! Tell it. Something was happening, we were having a heated discussion here. And I can remember I was at the bottom of the stairs and Backrobe was at the top of the stairs, and he just said, I'm never going to marry a professional woman. Daughter that I could think of. And I'm so pleased. Who's that? And she just happens to be a lawyer.
And she wants to be a judge.
And she wants to be a judge. Another judge coming in. She's changed now. She wants to be a biologist. But that's okay.
Biologist?
So look, thank you all for coming. Thank you for celebrating with us. us. And we're really blessed to be of this age and to have this family. I mentioned Malik, mentioned Bakai, and all the brothers. Right now we are very troubled because what is happening in northern Mali. We're very troubled. And I think we're very troubled because, unfortunately, in many situations, people don't really determine their destiny, in the sense that there are many intertwining interests that are not always obvious, that are pulling strings, and that make life much more complicated. And the end result is that ordinary people very often suffer. And so we look for ways of supporting them so that they will overcome this present adversity. We have confidence, but nevertheless it is very troubling. And a lot of young men, like my nephew, are really exposing themselves to great danger in order to save the country. So you have to keep this in mind and keep this in your prayers, and also, whenever you can, educate people as to what basically is the situation. There have been some more enlightened writing in the Washington Post recently and in the French papers, Le Monde, because if you just listen to some of the television programs and read the lines, they give such a synopsis that you're not understanding what's going on. But I think that one of the most dangerous parts of the situation is the fact that there are very radical religious groups that wish to impose their way of thinking, not only on the North, but on the whole country. It shouldn't be even on the North, but this is mobilizing people to realize that it's not just a matter of saving a democracy, but it's a matter of allowing people some determination and freedom in their choice of development. So thank you, everyone, and thank you for your blessings and thoughts.